Hello Capricorn, how are you? It's me, Lauren B. Welcome to the Untitled Tarot. So, for those of you that are familiar around here, you know like that I go through death and rebirth processes like I'm changing my socks. So, we're in the midst of another one of those, and every time that happens, the way I pull in my messages is a little bit different, the downloads are a little bit different, the way the spreads and the weeklies come out is a little bit different. So, we're gonna do your cards live action, which we've been doing like here or there. I'm also doing a lot more like open channeling as I'm doing the reads too, which is kind of cool. This week, we are going to use a combination of the Good Tarot and the Spirit Animal Oracle. So San Tarot does this all of the time, and I love that she does it. She usually does the Good Tarot mixed with either the Spirit Animal Oracle or the Mystical Shaman, and I never mix decks. I don't mix it. That's the one time when we don't flip it and reverse it here. But I've felt very called to do it. I did it for the Aries reading. And I'm actually having a lot, look, the High Priestess comes out on the split. my throat chakra, guys. And I had a lot of fun with it in the Aries reading. So I think we're gonna do it again. Shout out to San Tarot, always with the good ideas over here. So Capricorn, there's been a lot of, for a Capricorn, I'm feeling a lot of like King of Swords energy for you. I'm like, keep looking at these snake plants. Let me pull one out for you. These snake plants that I have all over my room. And I just posted something on my Instagram about it too. Snake plants are, they're very much a plant of protection. Sometimes they're affectionately called the mother-in-law plant. So you might be dealing something with your mother-in-law, Capricorn, or a potential mother-in-law for you. Maybe your own mother, I don't know. But it's about really, how we speak, like how we express ourselves, being a little sharp-tongued, right? And with all of this full moon in Aries energy that we're still kind of cycling through before we have the new moon in Libra, I believe on the 12th. I might be wrong about that date. I think there really is, look at King of Swords, look at that, yeah. There is really an energy about being very mindful of how we express ourselves, express our boundaries, right? Capricorns have really been coming into their leadership energy, especially in my collective, in the Beehive, with the last few weekly reads that I've done for you guys. So it's really interesting. It's very, very interesting. So I want to start with a little prayer. I always pray before my spreads, but I don't normally film that part, but I think it's important that we all pray together. So we want to thank you, Father God, for being here with us, for me and Capricorn for this read. We ask for you to cover these cards to protect us, give us the right guidance, perspective for Capricorn's highest of love, light, alignment, ascension. We praise you and we thank you in Jesus' name to the utmost high. Amen. So look at this big, look. He's following us. He's following us. Oh my goodness. Do you see how big this stack is? It looks like a triple-decker sandwich. Looks like a triple-decker sandwich. So Capricorn, let's see what we have for you this week. Let's see. It's so big, this deck. I don't know how San does this all of the time. It's crazy. She is a wonder. She's a wonder of a woman. Do you see this popping out? Let's take it. All right. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, so we have, what is this? 3, 5, 9, 10. 3, 9, 10. 3, 9, 1. Okay. What does that break down to? 3 and 9 is what? 12? So 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1, Capricorns. That's important for some of you for some reason. Grasshopper spirit. Take a leap of faith. You know, it's very interesting here, this grasshopper. He has a crown on, right? And where he's standing, when he's sitting, looks very, very comfortable. This take a leap of faith. I'm getting a lot of Fool energy here. Taking a leap out of your comfort zone, where you're comfortable. An area of your life where you already feel crowned, where you already feel anointed, where you already feel very, very established. It could be a job that you've been at for a long time, a relationship, or like a social dynamic that you've been a part of for a long time, where you're sort of, you have seniority there of some kind, right? There's been a lot of growth for you in the past. But at the same time, it seems like one of those plants that doesn't grow much bigger than what it is right here. It's like almost like there's some area in your life, whether it be work, love, like society, right? Some kind of industry, whatever it may be for you, that you have seen a lot of growth and abundance in this area. You have been recognized for your efforts in this area. Grasshoppers are also very, very lucky. You've seen a lot of luck in this area, but there is this sense that you've reached the maximum growth potential in whatever this is. And in order to see more abundance, more flow, more blessings come into your life in that financial sector, emotional sector, some kind of expansion, that you're going to actually have to take a leap of faith, which it feels for you as though it is a risk. It is a risk in order to do so, but you've pretty much squeezed all of the juice out of whatever situation you've been sitting in for a long time. And then you have card number 54, which breaks down to a 9. 9 is the number of completion. It's also very independent energy. Skunk spirit, know your worth. So there is this sense that whatever it is that you're sitting in, that you've been crowned in, you have your seniority, you've had a lot of luck up until this point. It feels almost like you have hit a glass ceiling, right? You have hit the top. Like there's no more room for advancement or expansion in whatever area this applies to you, if this does resonate for you. And there is a fear of moving forward, having to take that leap of faith that feels like a risk into something out of your comfort zone, where you may not be as astute or as apt or feeling as capable, right, to take on this new season, this new chapter, this new challenge for yourself. And it seems to come from an area of not knowing your worth, like not feeling as though you are qualified, right, in that particular sector to do it. Like you won't be able to keep up. You won't be able to keep up with everyone else, or even up with your own expectations in that sense. And I'm like drawn back to the snake plant, this very like protective energy, feeling a little like cold and retracted, because skunks like emit a certain smell, right, when they feel threatened. So it's like there's something about your energy right now too, Capricorn, that has some kind of maybe conscious or perhaps unconscious defense mechanism, that you are emitting a certain amount of resistance, coldness, restriction, maybe even something just energetically like in your aura, a little bit of that like, get away from me, I don't want to hear it sort of thing that's coming through as well. Because what you see too is, right, like where you were sitting right here, it is full, it is abundant, right, but it's not growing anything past that. But the longer that you sit on it in this protective energy, you see that it's like these leaves, it's like they start to wilt and they start to drop away until it's like you're basically standing on like something that has become unstable to you, right? It's like withering away. The situation is withering away in some aspect. It's very interesting. And then, what is this, 37? 37 breaks down to a 10. That is completion. That's about a 9 to the 10. That's about as complete as you get. Lion spirit, be generous of spirit. It feels like to others, right? And there's this orb around this lion's face, almost as though it's like walking through a portal, like walking through a new opportunity, walking into a new season, because this feels a little bit like fall energy, right? Like spring into fall. And this feels a little bit like fall into winter as the leaves start to change, right? Leaves start to die, they start to fall off the trees. And then this is like the freshness of like that winter air that hits you, like that coolness of like, be generous of spirit. It feels like to others, almost in the sense of like, don't be like cold necessarily, or closed off rather, I should say, to like other people in your environment, whether it's the environment that you might feel as though you need to be leaving, or the environment that you feel like you're going into, because there's a sense that other people aren't going to respect you or appreciate you or understand why you're doing what you're doing. And the lion spirit also talks of pride, right? That it should bring you pride to be brave enough, right? Lions are very brave to step into a new cycle, to take a risk, to take a chance, to bet on yourself, but also to not let your pride get in the way of you making these decisions, or to, it's like sometimes when I'm getting this image of like somebody going away to college, right? And so they start emotionally distancing themselves from their friends as a like self-soothing technique, as like a protective measure. So that way it doesn't hurt so bad when they leave, right? Because they're already sort of like prematurely detached. It's that kind of energy. It's like, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, because though you are moving into perhaps a new job, a new season, a new cycle, new relationships, new dynamics, maybe you're actually moving to a new area, you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Some of these relationships can still be saved. Like you can still hang out and go get drinks after work with some of your old coworkers, some of your old friends, even if you guys don't work in the same place anymore. You can still FaceTime with those people or go visit them, right, when you're home from school, whatever it may be for you. Card number 6, love. Love, and look what she's lying on, a lion. Lying on a lion. That's interesting. Lying on a lion. But it feels like lying, not like laying. And 15, that breaks down to a 6. 6, 6. When I say 6, 6, that's also an indication for me that it's important to actively be trying to raise your vibrational energy. And that means trying to actively look at things from like a more positive perspective, really flip it and reverse it, right? Cow spirit, the miracles are endless, and cows in many cultures are very, very sacred animal. It's about maintaining for you right now, Capricorn, this sense of eternal, external, internal love for yourself, for your experiences, for the times that you've had with people, for the wisdom and experience you've learned in certain jobs or certain environments, whatever that may be for you. Because now you see all of these sunflowers. Remember when you were in this protective energy over here, they started to kind of wilt, they started to kind of fall away. But when you start expanding yourself, right? Laying more in a place of love, resting more in a place of love. And again, remember I was talking about this like portal of fresh energy, and right here, it's like this doorway into a portal. All of these sunflowers come back. They're revived. They're refreshed. Look at this feather hanging off of your ear. Off of your ear. You might be hearing like ringing in your ears too, or like a tugging or something, like a pressure on your ear. You might be thinking it's like sinuses. You might be thinking it's sinuses, like ear pressure, but like I said, 66, 6, 15 breaks down to a 6 is a sign of to raise your vibration. So sometimes when we're going through like ascension symptoms, we'll feel a lot of pressure in our ears, almost like we're in an airplane, right? Or like popping in your ears or ringing in your ears. It's actually a sign that your energy is expanding, right? Your energy is elevating, it's ascending. And so because of that, you will feel like biometric pressure, biometric pressure in your ears. So sometimes you'll just chalk it up to, I got water in my ears in the shower, or my allergies, my sinuses are all clogged up. I'm gonna get in here. That's actually not what is usually happening. What's usually happening is there's some kind of like ascension symptoms, but to actively try and raise your vibration by looking at things more positively, not trying to purposefully hold yourself in a cycle as well that you're outgrowing and you know you're outgrowing. It's almost as though with this crowning in this old cycle, this old relationship, this dynamic, this job, you have been seen and you've seen yourself as a leader. And now you're meant to go into a new cycle where you're also supposed to be a leader, but it's like a leveled up, right? It's like instead of being a duke, you're supposed to be a king now. And with that comes a lot more responsibility, right? A lot more eyes on you, a lot more pressure, at which you might not feel qualified or equipped to really step into, right? But you have to know your worth and be proud of yourself. And it's almost like for the pride, like for the pride, like for the mission, for the people, for your community, for your family, like taking on, like knowing why you're taking it on, that it's something that's bigger than you. It's something that will benefit a lot more people other than just you. Wow. Things are really flying out. Oh, another 6-6. Cappy. Cappy. Look, we have this Ace of Fire. Aces are new. Aces are beginnings, right? Go forth passionately in whatever this is. This is a new project. If you're going into business for yourself, if this is a new relationship, if this is moving to a new place, a new environment, having new experiences, counteract that fear, that anxiety, the feeling of not being good enough or able or equipped to do this, and just flip it on its head and be like, I'm excited. Let it be. Turn that fear into fuel and let it be the light within you, right? Because I'm also noticing that this candle is within like a little lantern, which feels like a lot of Virgo energy as well. So you might really be holding on to Virgo season, even though we are very well into Libra season right now, right? Again, it's like trying to hold yourself back in like an old cycle, an old season, an old sign. Maybe you're holding on to old signs, old signs, old synchronicities, instead of allowing yourself to like take in new downloads about where you're supposed to be because it's freaking you out a little bit. But turn that fear into fuel. Let it light you up from the inside out, that fire in your belly. Let it get you excited. Like, you know what? Absolutely, this is scary. And maybe, no, I don't feel equipped for this, but God would never give me something to do. He would never send me on a new path. He would never put this idea in my head if he didn't fully intend on helping me see it through the forest, right? It's very foresty back here. It's like back into fall now. It's like we're moving through cycles. It's like if you're gonna hold yourself in a season, the next time the season changes, you might end up in a different season because you tried to skip one. And then you have pig spirit. What is this? 11? This breaks down to 11. And an ace is a 1, so that's 11, 11. Use your mind wisely. And 11-11, people talk like the whole TF thing, but 11-11 also mostly speaks about coming into a better energy of flow, right? Momentum, abundance, things kind of moving, all oil in all of the wheels, all of the cogs. Use your mind wisely, right? Pigs are, they're very adaptable creatures. They're also very, very intelligent, but they're also very sweet. Like there's an innocence to a pig for some reason that is coming through too. Again, it's almost like with this grasshopper spirit, lucky, like luck seems to be consistently on your side despite whatever obstacles you seem to be facing, Capricorn. And to really let this fire in your belly, turning this fear into fuel, right? This love for what you do, this love for your future, like I'm in love with my future kind of energy, this fool energy, to have you take on like a childlike sense of adventure, right? It's like in the car going someplace and you're like, I don't know where we're going, but I'm gonna have a soda pop when I get there. Like, I'm gonna have a lot of fun. Like, what are we gonna have for lunch? Like, what are we gonna do? What am I gonna wear? It's a surprise, you know? It's like, ooh, a surprise. It's like having to take on that energy a little bit more. And then, ooh, and then you have a 1, so it's 1, 1, 1, 1. It's a lot of ones. It's a lot of beginnings. So it could be like this move, this job change, whatever it is. It could be starting new beginnings for you. I'm almost seeing, I'm hearing forest fire, but it's almost like a chain reaction of little fires that are being started like all around you, right? Like going into business for yourself, new relationship, moving places, moving to a different town, meeting new friends, like all of these new things all together. Because then you have ant spirit, time to collaborate, time to collaborate. Ants are very community driven, right? Like they work independently, but it's all for like the ant hill. It's all for the hive, right? It's all to get through the hill. It's incorporating making new social contracts, making new efforts in networking, maybe branching out in social media, but finding different pieces that maybe you didn't use before. That's a big bird. Oh, yeah. The birds are coming through real strong right now, and putting them together. And sometimes the pieces don't fit together the first time you put them in. It's that trial and error, right? It's that ace. It's that new, fresh thing. You've been like anointed. It's like you have to go into a new kingdom and you have to work your way up again, and that's okay. The pieces might not all fit together the first time, but break them apart, move them around, flip it and reverse it, put them back together. Sooner or later, you will get the whole picture, but it takes building block by building block, piece by piece, inch by inch, one foot in front of the other, and soon you'll be walking out the door, Cappy. Because then you have beaver spirit, number 6, lay a solid foundation. And you have these 2 6s right here. Technically, I mean, you have 3 6s. Technically, you have 4 6s. So you might be seeing that a lot. You might be seeing that a lot for you. But 6 for me as a reader is also a number of like 6 of Pentacles. It's a reciprocal energy, an equal energy exchange that just have faith in the fact that when you turn that fear into fuel, to give you the momentum to keep you warm as you're going through the learning curve, the learning process of whatever this is for you, that as much love that you put in to it, as much excitement and positivity and hope and joy and just like pure childlike, like unrestricted love, undefensive love for this person, for this project, for this new season that you're being blessed with, even if it feels a little bit overwhelming, right? That you will be able to lay a solid foundation. You know, when the, like Maren Morris, when the bones are good, right? We're at the, what is it? We're in the last stretch. We're in the home stretch. We're in the home stretch of the hard times. We're in the home stretch of the hard times, Cappy, right? And when we put these little pieces together, brick by brick, and when we do it with love, the bones are good in the house, the new foundation, the new season, the new cycle. You get worried, you get stressed, you half-ass it. You know, you're like, oh, I feel overwhelmed. Just throw it together. It'll be fine. Sooner or later, it'll all come crumbling down. You want to make sure that you're building with intention, building with intention. And Sandpiper Spirit, 51, another 6. be playful, have fun with it. Like I said, I don't know where we're going, and I don't really know how we're gonna get there, and I don't know when I'm gonna get to stop for a bathroom break, and I'm kind of hungry, but it's okay. Like, we're going on an adventure, like we're going on a trip. Like, some of you guys know, like my house is in the process of being sold, so like there are realtors here like all the time, so a lot of times I'm like being exiled, and I have to like drive around, and I have to like do all this weird stuff, and sometimes I get really upset about it, right? But then other times I just sit in my car, I'm like, all right, Jesus, we're going on an adventure. Like, just tell me where you want to go. And they'll just give me like a snapshot in my mind of like a place, and I'll just drive there, and then something cool will happen. You know, that's just the way it is. That song keeps coming out. I'll be, that's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. This card's sticking out. What is it? Aww. Capricorn. Look, another 10. 10 of Cups. Emotional fulfillment. And this card is represented by Buddha. Little Buddha belly, right? Another, like, what do? You rub the Buddha belly for good luck, right? This is fortuitous. There is luck that is on your side. It's following you around this whole entire spread. It's been following you around in the last, I feel like 2-3 weekly readings that I've done for you too. And what he has too on this card, it's almost like a string of pearls, right? Pearls are in oysters, something special. And what I love is that they almost kind of look like a yo-yo. Like a yo-yo. It's like I said, like you have this domino effect of like luck and prosperity and abundance and things that are waiting for you as soon as you take a leap of faith, even though it feels like a risk. My North Node's in Capricorn, so so for me, I know exactly what they're talking about. And I'm just like, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I know exactly what they're talking about for me, which means that you probably know exactly what they're talking about for you too, right? But it's like this yo-yo, it's this domino effect that you'll be able to like play, right? Sandpiper spirit, be playful with it, with the process, all of your blessings, all of your abundance, like very like magician energy. Like, look what I'll be able to do. Look what I'll be able to do. Like, one thing goes into another. I'll be able to do this, and I'll be able to do that. New me, new love, new job, new house. Like, you know, that's kind of that's really the energy that we're sitting in right now for you. It's really, really nice. Look at the bottom of the deck, White Raven, trust in the magic. 66. Y'all gotta get out of your funk. Y'all gotta get out of your funk. Yes, you do. You listen to a little James Brown and get into a different kind of funk. That's my advice, Capricorn. So listen, I hope that you enjoyed this. It's all looking really good. You just gotta get out of your own head, get out of your little your ego holds like all of your fear and stuff, right? Where we try and cling to things that we're outgrowing. It's time for you to expand. You're gonna learn some new lessons, but when you put love and good intention and positivity into it, you got nothing but heaven to build, heaven on earth. So I love you guys. Thank you so much. If you're interested in your individual monthly, you can find that on the Patreon. That is linked in the description box below, along with all of the decks I use, my email, and all my social media links for like Instagram and Twitter and all of that stuff's in there. Thank you so much for being here with me. I love you guys so much. I'm really rooting for you. We're all rooting for you. So please take care of yourself, and I will see you very soon, Capricorn. Goodbye.